Hi there. I just got through giving you your grades for the week three assignments. So I wanted to give you some quick feedback on the assignment that had to do with the SLA methods, the second language acquisition methods. So that had to do with that assignment where you had to choose whether or not you agreed with the ELD method or the SEDI method. Okay. Now, the situation that you're going into where you're teaching in a school, most of the time you don't get to choose. The program that they give you, and that's what you have to teach with, for the most part. Now, sometimes you can kind of bring in like some of your own activities or kind of tweak it, the way that you like it. And sometimes you have that ability to do that. A lot of times you're kind of using a combination of the different methods, and which one is the best. A lot of you kind of said that a combination of both of them would be ideal. And, a lot of you gave the answer that it kind of depends on the learners that you're teaching. So it depends on their age and their background, right? So if you're starting from really young learners who are beginners who only have their own language and that's it, they do not know any English at all, and you're trying to teach them English, then probably ELD is, what you want to go with. If you have older learners who have a, somewhat of an academic background in their first language, and you don't really have time to, give them a good background in the target language first, like they're going to have years of missing out on the content. Like you need to give them, math, science, social studies right now, or else they're going to start falling behind in those subjects. Then you're going to have to mix in some SEDI, right? Or else they're going to start falling behind in those subjects. So you're probably going to have to take into consideration those different factors as well. But there was one other method that I wanted to tell you about that I didn't give you the information on in the assignment, and that is one that absolutely really doesn't work according to the research that you may come across. Hopefully you won't. Possibly some of you have come across it when you were students, when you were younger, and that is dual immersion. Okay, so what dual immersion is giving two languages side by side at the same time, the same messages. So this used to be popular. Fresno Unified had a few schools that taught dual immersion, maybe like 15, 20 years ago or so. And basically, so say you had a dual immersion Spanish-English school. What they would do is the teacher would teach for maybe about 15, 20 minutes in English. She would explain, a lesson in English. She would say, talk for about 15 minutes in English, and then she would stop, and then she would say the exact same thing, just translate exact same thing in Spanish. So, sounds great, right? So there would be probably, majority of kids in the class were Spanish speakers with a few English speakers mixed in. And then the idea would be that, as the kids would go through school, they would, all of the kids in the class would suddenly come out knowing English and Spanish by being in that environment. Well, what happens is that the Spanish speakers would listen to the messages in Spanish because they would understand that perfectly. And then when the teacher was and then the English speakers would listen to the messages in English, and then when the messages were coming in the language that they did not understand, they just tuned it out because there was no reason to listen to it. There was no information that they were not getting that they needed. And so, you know, as a human, not having to, you know, get any information, there's no need to listen to it. So you just turn your brain off and you just go about your business and you just don't pick anything up. So think about Krashen's I+1 theory, okay, the input theory, comprehensible input theory, where you have to give the information in the target language that students need. Okay, so that's the whole point. So if you give information in the target language that students do not need, then they're never going to get it. Okay, and remember the information has to be comprehensible, and it has to be just a little bit more than they need. Okay, so if it's too advanced, if it's too far above them, or if it's too easy, if they can understand every single thing, they're not going to, you know, they'll understand it, but they're not going to learn anything. Or if it's too advanced, it just goes right over their head and they're not going to learn anything. So that's the whole idea there. Okay, so just wanted to give you a little bit more information on on one more method, and let me know if you have any questions about that. And like I said, I just finished giving you your grades, so let me know if you have any questions about that. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.